Hello everyone and welcome to the Mr. Football Award Show. I'm Jeff Palermo. Every year the state of Louisiana gives out a Mr. Football Award. It is brought to you by the Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance Companies, and we'll speak to them here momentarily. But it's the Louisiana Sports Writers Association that chooses who will be the Mr. Football Award winner. It's equivalent to the Heisman Trophy on the college level. And there's been some great winners in the past. You're talking about guys like Leonard Fournette, Brady James, the late Joe McKnight, Travis Minor, and back in 1995, Cecil Collins won the first award. Now this year there were a lot of terrific candidates for this award. Let's tell you about a few of them now.
Country Day quarterback Justin Ibieta. He threw for over 2,900 yards and also rushed for over 1,000 yards and accounted for 55 touchdowns. There was also St. Thomas More quarterback Caleb Holstein. He threw for 3,800 yards and 47 touchdowns for a high-powered Cougars offense that finished as runners-up in Division II. Warren Easton defensive back Jamal Sam had 6 interceptions, returned 3 for touchdowns. He also had 55 tackles, did Sam, who finished as he helped the Eagles finish as runner-ups in Class 4A. And then there's Zachary quarterback Keelan Brown, who had over 4,000 yards of total offense and 30 total touchdowns as the Broncos won their second straight state championship. But one player stood above the rest, and that's Dunham High's Derek Stingley. Some of the great statistics for Derek Stingley during his senior campaign in particular: no passes completed against him during his senior season. For his career, he had 27 interceptions, 14 punt returns for a touchdown, and during his senior season, he returned 3 punts for a touchdown, also caught 8 touchdowns, rushed for 2 more, and also returned an interception for a touchdown. As I told you earlier, it's up to the Louisiana Sports Writers Association to make the decision on who should be the Mr. Football Award winner. And this year it was a difficult decision, but Derek Stingley for sure had a great year. And here to tell us a little bit more about Derek, that is a great member of the Louisiana Sports Writers Association and a newly elected Hall of Famer in the Louisiana High School Hall of Fame. That's Robin Fambro, who covers prep athletics for the Advocate. And Robin, you've watched Derek Stingley for several years. When you think about his career, what comes to your mind?
Just overall excellence. And, you know, you think about a kid who started playing varsity when he was an 8th grader. I think he weighed 125, 130 pounds. You never really know what a kid like that will grow up to be. And he grew up to be the most elite player in the country. I mean, it's the first time Rivals.com or anyone picked a defensive back as the outstanding player in a recruiting class. Usually, that's more of your glamour positions, your quarterbacks, your running backs. Occasionally it might be a really, really good lineman. DB is kind of one of those situations where, yeah, DBs are important, but for Derek, just the sheer way he can impact a game. He can impact the game on defense by making a play. He made plays with his legs on offense by catching passes, by running the ball. And then extremely dangerous as a kick returner. As we all know from the spring at LSU, there's a good chance he may be back on returns in the fall. I mean, you know, it's really kind of surreal when you think about it. And maybe we joke about it as sports writers. Hey, what did he not do? Well, maybe he didn't go sell popcorn at the concession stand, you know. But I mean, and on top of that, just a great kid with a great family, and you know, that's the kind of representative you want. Just an all-around good guy, and also who happened to be the best football player in the state this year.
You've covered high school athletics in Baton Rouge for quite a while, Robin. Where does he rank among some of the great athletes that you've had an opportunity to cover?
He's in the top 5. I'm not going to name all the others, but he's probably in the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great ones in Baton Rouge, and just it's a unique skill set. And, you know, people were making comparisons to Patrick Peterson, the former LSU star who's now in the NFL. That's probably fair. I think all of us are kind of excited to see what happens at the next level. I mean, people don't realize how blessed we are in Baton Rouge, not just with football, but with all the sports we have. We have some very talented athletes here. And also, overall in the state of Louisiana, look at Justin Ibieta, Keelan Brown at Zachary. You can look in any corner of the state and find excellence. I mean, people probably didn't know who Devin White was 3 or 4 years ago, but we sure did. because he was actually a very good running back in high school, and most people don't remember that now because of the star linebacker he is. And he played for North Webster High School.
He had a great career. Derek had a great career, and he was a guy when the ball was in his hands, or even if the ball wasn't in his hands, you had to watch what he was doing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got to believe that if he has the chance to make a play and impact a play or impact a game, Derek was going to do it.
He was a great player. Tremendous honor for him. I think it was the right choice for sure. What an unbelievable senior season. What a great career he had at Dunham High School. Robin, want to thank you for stopping by and telling us a little bit about Derek Stingley and all the great work you do with covering high school athletics and with the Louisiana Sports Writers Association.
Thank you. And I also want to shout out to our guys. We have a committee who picks All-State, and it's a group of writers and media people from around the state, and we all kind of get together and collaborate. It's funny, there used to be a time when everybody would get in a room and meet. Time constraints and travel don't allow that now, but thanks to the wonders of conference call, it's kind of like the same thing, and we can go back and forth for a while. And I always remind them, the deal is we all love our players, but we're supposed to pick the best players.
And you did pick the best one this year. Derek Stingley, certainly a worthy recipient of the Mr. Football Award. We'll meet Mr. Derek Stingley here and his father coming up later on the show. This is Mr. Football 2018. Welcome back to the Mr. Football Award Show, as we are here with the 2018 Mr. Football Award winner, Derek Stingley Jr., and his dad, Derek Stingley Sr. We'll start off here with the dad, Derek Stingley Sr., and I remember, me and you used to do games together, and he would come up to the booth with his football, and he'd hang out for 2 minutes, and then he'd go out and play football somewhere. But when did you recognize that this kid, he's going to be a special athlete?
It was a whole lot earlier than that. He was around 3 or 4. It's this old thing about him kicking the football, and we have the photo of that when he was like 2 years old. But when I knew it, it was more so he was about 4 years old. We used to go out in the front yard, in the backyard, and run routes, or we'd do DB drills, or running back drills, or punt drills, or catching drills. And he was catching on so easily, and it was like I was able to move on quicker than I would be able to move on with the guys that I was coaching. I was coaching arena football at that time, and he was able to pick everything up, and we can ad-lib off certain things and put it all together to make it look like it's a real football game out there. And right then and there, I said he's going to be special. He's going to be special with football.
What kind of influence has your father been on you, Derek?
I wouldn't be playing football if he wasn't here. Just leave it like that. I would have no reason to be playing football.
He had a chance, or he was coaching Arena Football League. I would imagine you were able to hang around. What kind of experience did that help you as far as your development as a football player?
Yeah, well, sometimes with his arena football teams, he would let me and one of my friends, he would let us practice with the team, like full-out pads, like shoulder pads, cleats, all that, and we'll get to do some of the drills with them. So I'm doing drills with grown men and seeing how they do it and just mimicking and trying to get better off of that. So I think that's where the determination started, just to be better at everything.
As he was developing his high school career, Derek,
what were some of the things that you were telling him to get him ready for where he's at right now as an athlete?
Well, most of it was always about the preparation part. I would tell him, you have to know your opponent. Make sure you watch film and make sure you understand who you're going up against. Make sure you understand the formations or the plays that we have for that week as well. And always told him to protect himself. Be around the ball, but understand how to tackle. Make sure that you come out of the game clean. And he masters those things early on to where I didn't have to say it a lot, but I would still check in from time to time. He'd be like, "Dad, I've already watched plenty of film. I've already been there, so it's all good." So I knew right then and there the physical part you can see, the mental part, it was something that I thought I had to work with him a little bit. But once I explained to him how to get ready, now him by himself, he does it without me even having to tell him anything about it. So that makes what a special player is all about, when they're prepared mentally and physically.
How much do you like the mental side of football?
It's the biggest part of football, because if you go into a football game thinking that you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. If you go in playing scared, you're most likely gonna get hurt. If you go in saying, "Oh, I'm gonna defeat the person across from me," then you're most likely gonna beat the person across from you. So it's really the biggest thing. Like you can have the best mindset, but be going against somebody with better talent than you can still beat them like that. So it's the biggest part of it.
Talk about, since I got both of you here, the Stingley legacy and what that means. And obviously many people know about the story of your father and becoming paralyzed on the field, and and here he is, best player in the state of Louisiana, #1 prospect in the country, for it to kind of filter down from what he started to where he's at now.
Well, genetics always plays a big part in any athlete, for sure. You can be taught some things, but some things are naturally handed down, and it goes as far up as my grandfather. He played in the NFL. My dad played in the NFL. My uncle was drafted in the NFL. I had a cup of tea in the NFL. And it's just the legacy that's being carried on, and he's doing a good job of it. Before my dad passed away, he had the opportunity to tell me he saw Derek on film. I videoed him, sent some film up to Chicago. He said, "You know what, son? That kid's gonna be special." And that's coming from him. So, with that being said, we all knew it. We saw it, that, he's already doing things that grown men should be doing at a young age. So the legacy, for sure, is in good hands with him.
What do you think of the things that your family has already been able to do in this sport, and what you're hoping to continue to do?
Well, I know that I have a foundation that I come from, and I know that my dad and mom, I know that they'll keep me in the right direction, and I'll do the right things. And if I somehow get off track, they'll put me back on track.
Sounds good. Well, congratulations once again. It's a terrific honor to be the Mr. Football, the top high school football player in the state. Congratulations on raising a great kid. You're a good broadcaster too. I miss you up there as well. But you're a good coach for Dunham as well. But thanks a lot for your time. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for doing that for me.
All right, Mr. Football 2018. Welcome back to the Mr. Football Award Show as we are here with the 2018 winner for Mr. Football. That is Derek Stingley, the outstanding defensive back and wide receiver, and well, he just did it all for the Dunham Tigers. And Derek, what a great career you had at Dunham. It started when you were in the 8th grade. Do you remember your first game on the varsity level, and were you scared at all?
So yeah, I remember like leading up to the game, my dad was telling me that I was probably going to get in the game as a punt returner, and I wasn't like, I wasn't scared. I was nervous, like always. You're always going to have some butterflies before you get on the field, but once I stepped on the field, everything was all good. But I remember the first time I got on the field and it was a punt return, I had a fair catch, but the dude still hit me before the ball even came down. So that was my first like welcome to varsity football. So yeah.
Well, eventually you started to get more and more involved as you got older on the varsity level. Was there a time that it really set in and said, hey, I can dominate at this level? Or did the word dominate really come through your mind, or that you can excel at this level? How did you kind of grasp of where your talent level was compared to everyone else?
Well, I never really thought about like oh, I'm way better than all these people I'm going against. I never had a moment where I was like, oh, I can't wait to dominate everybody. I just went out there and just had fun and played. So it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When the ball is in your hands, what's kind of going through your mind? Because you, on punt returns, interceptions, whatever it may have been, I mean, you were a threat to score no matter where you were on the field. So when you got the ball, what do you kind of think?
Touchdown. Every single time I touched the ball, I was like, oh, I need to score, because I didn't really touch the ball that much, to be honest. But when I did, I made the most of it and tried to score.
Certainly did. And you didn't, on defense, you didn't get the ball thrown at you very much. You didn't allow a completion your senior season. I think you only let one your junior year. As a cornerback where you're kind of out on the island and there's not many passes coming in your direction, how do you stay involved? What was kind of your feeling during those type of games?
So once we kind of started noticing that they were just taking me out the game, just like running me off and all that, I kind of moved to safety, and so I could be involved more, make more tackles, be around the ball. And because safety in the middle of the field, if you're gonna throw the ball, there's not too many places you can throw that I can't get to on the field. So once I moved to safety, I got more action.
Well, for you at Dunham High School, you guys didn't have like an extended run in the postseason, but do you have a favorite memory, or is there a couple of great memories that you have as far as your time at Dunham, especially on the football field?
Yeah. So my 8th grade year, when we went up to play Menard, we won on a Hail Mary, and that was like everybody just ran on the field, and that was crazy, because that was like my first like playoff game ever. Yeah. So that was exciting. And then my sophomore year, when we played against Newman, we lost that game by a point.
Yeah.
But I returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and I've never heard that stadium so loud before, and it kind of just like sent chills throughout my body. So
that was a great game. It was what, 42-41, something like that?
Yep.
Could have gone either way. Neil Weiner, what kind of impact, your head coach, what kind of impact has he had on your career?
A big one, because he put me in positions to make plays and be a playmaker. So like if he didn't, he was the one that brought me up from 8th grade to play on the varsity team. So he had to believe in me at some point during that time to like even allow me to do that. So everything began with him, and like if he wasn't here, I'm not sure if I would be in the same position that I am.
You know, I think I met him when he was 13 years old. You know, just finished the 7th grade. You know, he was just a little guy, and but just quiet. You know, just hard working. Just did everything that he was asked to do, and it's been fun to watch him grow up from that 12 or 13-year-old boy into the man that he is now. He didn't have the physical stature that he has now, and so playing with 17, 18-year-old kids, we were a little concerned, but we kind of eased him along. He practiced with us, and we got to see him move around, and obviously we could tell he was going to be a really good player eventually. We just didn't know exactly what he was capable of. And after we watched about 3 middle school games, I think he scored every time he touched the football. I think he picked off any pass that was thrown his way. We said that it was enough of that, and it was time to come up and play with the big boys. Just some of the one-handed catches and the incredible leaping ability. Yeah, there was lots of times where all of our coaches just kind of looked around like, did you see that? Physically where he is now, I truly believe if he'd have been in the draft this year, he'd have been a first-round draft pick as a 17-year-old. Physically, there's nobody more impressive than him as a cornerback. But his desire to be successful, his love for the intricacies of the game, just puts him on a whole nother level.
Now you're off to LSU. What are some of your expectations, some of your goals, just kind of your overall thoughts now that you get ready to make a big jump here from high school football to college football?
Just to go and learn, make sure I stay in the playbook, and make sure academics is first, and make sure I stay on the right path.
Derek, thanks a lot for spending some time with us. Congratulations on a terrific award. It's something that I know you'll cherish, and who knows, maybe you'll win the big award in college football too.
Hopefully so. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that is Derek Stingley, your Mr. Football Award winner for 2018. Thanks a lot, Derek.
No problem. Back inside Dunham High School for the Mr. Football Award Show as we presented Derek Stingley Jr. with the Mr. Football Award for 2018. As we told you earlier in the show, Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance is the sponsor of the Mr. Football Award every year. And here to talk more about it is Will Waldrop, who is the Vice President of Sales for Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And Will has been part of the show here now the last few years. But Derek Stingley Jr., you've heard a lot about him.
Sure have.
And to get a chance to meet him, he's a class act on the field. He's a class act off the field. He's a terrific athlete on the field. A great recipient of the Mr. Football Award.
Yeah, really could be more honored to give this individual the award. I mean, just great kid, and you know, you always like it when they wear purple and gold when they walk out of here too. So I enjoyed the visit with him and his family today. Just awesome people, and you know, we're so honored to be a part of this partnership. You know, you think about, we talked about it last year, but this goes back to 1995.
Yeah.
And so it's just been a great relationship between Cox and Farm Bureau and the Louisiana Writers Association, and we just couldn't be happier to be a part of it.
Well, talk about why Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance wants to be involved in something like this. And you get rewarded today having the opportunity to meet a guy like Derek Stingley Jr. and have your name attached to such a terrific award.
Well, I think the most important word that you said in there was Louisiana. We are Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the largest domestic in the state. We have a presence in all of our parishes across this great state, and we believe that the best place we can be is investing in our future, being a part of the community, enhancing our communities, and really, you know, when Friday night goes on, there are parents and agents and adjusters and employees that all have kids or grandkids that are down on those fields, and so it's not just it's not just a company, it's not just an insurance company. We are an insurance company, but we're a people company first, and we're a local people company first. And I think that's what makes us different and separates us from the competition.
No doubt about it. And the fact that you guys are in the community and you're able to represent people, that hardworking people of Louisiana, and to be able to offer them such a quality service. If you could kind of talk about some of the things that you can offer individuals who might be looking to change insurance companies.
Sure. I mean, obviously we've been doing business here for over 60 years. We know the Louisiana climate. We have the stats. We know what it takes to do business in Louisiana. We have that history, and we've been here for 60 years, and we're going to be here for a lot many more years. And the reason we'll be here is not because we'll be the cheapest, but it's because we're going to provide the best service, and we're going to be there in the time of need. You look at what happened just in Ruston earlier this week, and the way that our agents, employees, leadership responded speaks volumes for our company.
Well, it's great that you're a part of not only Louisiana Mr. Football, but you're also part of our Game of the Week that we've been having on your view here for several years now. And so it's been just a great partnership between Cox and Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And now you get to be really big Derek Stingley fans too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was a fan in the first minute, so I'm in. So.
All right, well, thanks a lot for spending some time with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for the partnership, and we always enjoy it and look forward to another season.
Yes, we certainly do. Will Waldrop, who is the Vice President of Sales for the Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Well, that does it for the Mr. Football Award Show. I want to thank the Stingley family, Derek Stingley Jr., the winner of the 2018 Mr. Football Award, along with his father, Derek Stingley Sr. Want to thank the Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance Company, and also want to thank Robin Fambro from The Advocate for stopping by and talking with us about Derek Stingley Jr. And want to thank Dunham High School football coach Neil Weiner, busy right now trying to produce that next Derek Stingley Jr. Not going to be easy. He was one of a kind, a player that a lot of people will remember for a long time as being one of the best high school football players ever in the state of Louisiana. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Palermo. And congratulations again to Derek Stingley Jr., the Mr. Football Award winner for 2018.